is the best player left in the playoff picture right now?
Well, I said this yesterday. I thought Luka Dončić, and I don't think it, I know it, that Luka Dončić is the best player remaining in the playoffs. And I don't need stats to back this up. My eyes are very, very good, especially when I wear my glasses. So from what I've seen over the last couple of years, and if we just want to basically, we'll just take this, Skip. He's leading his team in points, rebounds, and assists, although he missed the first 3 games with a calf injury. That lets you know just how good he is at what he does. Now, he can score the basketball. His scoring average speaks for itself, the second highest scoring average in NBA history. Oh, and he also gives you 9 rebounds, also 9 assists per game. So not only does he score the basketball, he makes sure everybody else gets easier shots than what they normally would if he wasn't in the ballgame. And he can rebound. And if you think about what he's doing, Skip, if you look at what he's done, you look at the elite level defenders, he made mincemeat. They didn't win either of the game, either of the series, but he made mincemeat of a 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in Kawhi Leonard. He did the same thing to Paul George. And remember, when they first got together, they said, this is the new Scottie and Michael. And Luka Doncic made mincemeat of them both. Mikal Bridges.
Mincemeat? Do you remember games 3 and 4 in Dallas? Mincemeat?
You always talk about 3 and 4, but what did he average? He put 46, 14, and 9 on them. He put 38, 9, and 12 on them. That's what he did. He averaged 35 points, double-digit assists, almost double-digit rebounds.
30% on him from the three-point line.
See, that's what you do to try to neutralize. When I tell you Michael Jordan shot 32% for a career from the 3,
he didn't even try.
There you go. He didn't try. Well, Luka isn't trying. But all I know is what he's doing. You look at what he's done against elite level defenders. Mikal Bridges finished second in the MVP voting. Made mincemeat of him. At some point in time, Skip, you can't just keep, because Tom Brady doesn't do everything great. We don't take the one thing that he doesn't do and try to neutralize everything else that he does that's great.
What does he do wrong?
He can't run like Lamar Jackson.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
Okay,
Thank you.
You don't need to do that at that position. At his position, you better be able to make three-point shots.
No, you don't.
And he's a 30%er.
Hold on. So let me get this straight. He only makes 30% of his threes, but he's averaging 26 and a half, 8 and 8 for a career. He's got his team to the Western Conference Finals, even though he can't shoot threes. There have been a lot of great players. Kobe didn't shoot. You make it seem like Kobe shot 40% from the 3. There are a lot of great players that didn't shoot 40% from the 3. That's been very good.
What's he shooting from the free throw line in the playoffs? Help me out.
Hold on.
Help me out.
So hold on. So let me get this straight. What did Shaq shoot? Did Shaq shoot 80%?
7'1".
So now, see, Skip, it's another excuse.
No, there's no excuses. That was the greatest offensive force I've ever seen. I haven't ever said that about this kid.
Just because he's not the greatest at what you've seen, at this point in time, he's the best player remaining, in these playoffs. And if he keeps this up, it's going to be hard-pressed for him not to be the best player in the NBA. Yeah, the field has been whittled down. There's no KD, there's no LeBron, there's no Giannis, there's no Jokic or Joel Embiid. But, Skip, it's hard to say if you got a top 5 that this kid isn't in it. Look, I get all that. He doesn't shoot free throws like Steph, and he can't shoot the 3 like this guy, and he doesn't defend like that guy. I get all of that. But nobody is complete. Nobody can shoot the 3 at 45%, could shoot 90% from the free throw line, shoot 52% from the floor, and lock it down defensively. Nobody can do that in the history of the game. What you try to do, because you try to pick out parts and say, well, because he doesn't do this great, he can't be this. And that's just not the way it works. We've never done that with any player in the history of the game. But somehow you try to find fault. Be that as you may, he's still the best player remaining in these playoffs until otherwise noted.
What did you see in games 1, 2, and 5 at Phoenix? Help me out.
All I saw is this team win 2 games, and they won by a grand total of 1,000 points. And why did they win those games, Skip? Do you believe they would have been where they are without him? I didn't think so.
1, 2, and 5, they lost at Phoenix by an average of 19 points a game. 19 points a game?
Did they win the series?
How do you do that? And after game 2, all I read was Phoenix is hunting Luka Doncic on defense. They just want to find him and destroy him. They made mincemeat out of him on defense. Mincemeat.
And then what happened?
Well, one game happened in which he was very fortunate because in the previous game that they had won, he shot 10 of 26 from the, is that good? 10 of 26? He shot, wait a second, 2 of 8 from 3. Wait a second. He shot 9 of 14 from the free throw. He missed 5 free throws in a game that in Dallas they actually won.
By how many?
Because he had 3 other hot hands around him.
Oh.
And they were all just bombarding threes from everywhere. They made, what, 20-some threes? And then all of a sudden, he starts off Game 7 by making his first 3 shots, and Phoenix looked shell-shocked, where it was like, if he's going to actually make shots today, we're in trouble because he doesn't usually make those shots.
Skip, the man, hold on. The guy was Rookie of the Year, and he's been to 3 All-Star games, and you talk about he doesn't make shots? He's just a 26, 8, and 8 guy for a career, and he doesn't make shots?
No.
What have you been watching?
Well, what have you been watching? What's the stats say?
The stats say he's 26, 8, and 8.
He's a career 34% three-point shooter. That's horrendous.
That's better than Kobe and Michael.
That's worse than LeBron.
That's better than Kobe and Michael.
Nobody even prioritized the shot then. Stop it. Michael Jordan went 6-0 in the final. Is this kid going to go 6-0? Is that your prediction? I need to know it.
No.
Is Shannon Sharpe predicting 6 finals?
See, you want to go big picture. We're talking about right now. You make it.
Okay, I'm doing little picture. I need some explanation about games 1, 2, and 5.
Skip, they won the series. Skip, hold on. Let me ask you this. You make it seem like no other great player has struggled and team has won. Michael Jordan did not score 30 every game. There are some games he was 6 of 23, and they won. There were some games Kobe. Go back and look at Game 7 and see what Kobe shot against the Boston Celtics. They won.
Wait a second. Did anybody ever hunt Jordan or Kobe on defense?
Yeah, Magic Johnson did.
Oh,
That's why they put Scottie Pippen on him after Game 1 of '91 Finals.
Really?
Go look it up.
Oh, stop it.
Go look it up.
That is the most blasphemous thing you've ever seen.
Go look it up.
Stop it.
Hold on. In Game 1 of the '91 Finals, Magic Johnson put a triple-double.
Michael Jordan. All he did was make like 10 first-team all-defenses.
I'm not, but he couldn't guard Michael. He couldn't guard Magic because Magic was 6'9". They put Scottie Pippen on him after Game 1. After Magic, they won Game 1. Remember?
They're hunting Michael Jordan. That's what it was.
All I said is that Magic Johnson. They put Scottie Pippen because Michael couldn't do anything with Magic. That's all I said.
So Luka has got next, and it's here. It's now, right?
Yes.
So are you predicting he's going to win his first championship this year?
Let me ask you, Skip. Hold on. Why do you do this? Just because it's year 4 for the guy.
Well, you already picked him to beat Golden State, right?
But let's just focus on this. You want to make it seem like the guy is just a guy. He's not. He's a superstar. He's a superstar. He is a superstar.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Thank you. Any day or any afternoon or any night, I will take right here, right now, Jimmy Butler over Luka Doncic, and I will win the basketball game because right now he is a better all-around basketball player, a better winning basketball player than Luka Doncic is.
What has he won?
Jimmy Butler, because the Butler is about to do it. He is about to win this championship this year. We're talking about Jimmy Buckets. We're talking about the guy I call Playoff Jimmy, the guy that you say is overrated.
No,
you sat right over there and said he was overrated, and I hope Jimmy is watching this show.
Skip, I
he
never
well
said
might
that.
be
Skip,
watching this show.
Skip, see, why do you do that? Why do you do that?
You said in the regular season he's just another guy.
I said he's a star. I said, but come playoff time, he plays like a superstar.
I don't think you said that to start with. That's what I said, and I think I convinced you.
No, you didn't, Skip. Oh my, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so when I first noticed playoff Jimmy was a couple of years ago in the bubble after he had lost his leading scorer on the team in the playoffs, who was Dragic. And then he lost Bam in Game 1 to a shoulder injury, so he's sort of going solo against the Lakers of obviously LeBron and AD and playoff Rondo, who was maybe your most valuable player through this stretch.
No, he was not. LeBron was.
Well, I think playoff Rondo made so many big shots.
Stop.
Well, he just did.
That's blasphemous. They say Rondo was better than LeBron.
Well,
Stop that.
He made more big shots than LeBron did.
Oh, my God.
So do you remember, by chance, Game 3 of that bubble championship series, the finals? Jimmy Butler went 40, 11, and 13. Is that good?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Yeah.
In Game 6, another win for the Heat, he went by himself, 35, 12, and 11. Is that good?
What is the series? Hold on, no, he didn't. That was Game 5. He didn't go that. He didn't go that in Game 6.
Game 5. It was over in 6.
Yeah.
But Game 5 was when he went 35, 12, and 11
Yes.
to force the Game 6,
Yes.
right? And he was doing it solo
then what
because
happened?
he didn't have anybody.
And then
to go
what
along with
happened?
him. Well, finally, the predictable happened.
Yeah.
You had your team healthy, and playoff Rondo made some huge shots in Game 6.
What does that got to do with, okay, his team wasn't healthy, but what does that have to do with Jimmy Butler's performance in Game 6? They weren't healthy in Game 5. And you talk about 35, 11, and 12. You talk about what he did in Game 3. So what does that have to do with his performance in Game 6? What does that have to do with his performance in Game 1? Since you like going game by game, okay, give me game by game.
Well, which was the better team by far? It was the Lakers.
Well,
and he won 2 all by himself.
But you tell me it doesn't matter who's the better team. If you're that guy, you win. That's what you have always held LeBron to. That's what you held all the other greats to. That's what you say about Steph Curry. So give Jimmy Butler that treatment if you said he's a superstar.
Is anybody hunting Jimmy Butler on defense? No, he is arguably the best defender on what could be very quietly the best defense left in the playoffs.
If he's the best defender, why does P.J. Tucker always get the toughest assignment?
Well, I don't know. All around, who's leading the whole playoffs in steals right
Jimmy
now?
is. But I'm just asking
Jimmy
you.
Butler.
All I know is that when they play Kevin Durant, P.J. Tucker has him. All I know is when they have LeBron James, he has him. I guarantee you, he's going to get the assignment of Jayson Tatum.
I'll bet that Jimmy Butler will be on Jayson Tatum a whole lot.
He won't start on him. Well, I mean, the thing that they have is that they have a lot of bodies that they can rotate. But I know Tuck is going to start.
So the second best scorer in this playoffs to Luka is Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah.
He's at 29, and he's got 8 rebounds and 5 assists, and that doesn't seem like that many. But guess who leads his team in assists? It's Jimmy Buckets with 5, which is pretty great. And his turnovers are all the way down at 1.7 per game, which is really low because Luka's right at the top at 4 turnovers a game.
But, you know...
Wait, Luka has 4 turnovers a game?
Skip. Does Jimmy have the ball in his hands as much as Luka?
No, but he's much more careful with the ball than Luka, who will try just about anything at any point in the game.
Yes.
And he'll have 2 or 3 really careless turnovers a game where you just sit back and say, what are you thinking?
And he'll have, guess what? And he'll have 5 or 6 plays that you like, oh, my God, how did he do that?
Yep. So Luka, would you believe in the fourth quarter is shooting 31% from 3-point? That's shaky. That's the fourth quarter. That's money time. That's through the whole playoffs so far. In the fourth quarter, Jimmy leads his team with 7 points a game, but he's shooting 54% from the floor, which is really good. That's like up and getting into Giannis territory, and 40% from 3 in the fourth quarter. Jimmy doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but boy, he's been making a lot of threes in the fourth quarter.
He has, but let me ask you a question. If they were to have a draft right now and you get a chance to draft Luka Doncic or Jimmy Butler, how many GMs taking Jimmy Butler over Luka?
Well, all I know is I'm real happy that he's on my Miami Heat that I picked to win it all. That's all I'm saying is the most valuable player, the leader of this team, the craftiest player, the savviest player on both ends of the floor is this guy.
Hello. So then, so why were you making all this hee-haw about Bam Adebayo? Why were you talking about Dragic if he's the most all around? He's the most important player. He plays both sides of the ball.
Well, he lost his second and third best player.
What does Dragic got to do with that? You didn't make, hold on. I remember a guy that was in the NBA Finals that lost his second and third best players, and you creamed him. LeBron James. He lost his second and third best players, and you said if he's that guy, he's got to bring the game home. If he's that guy, if Jimmy Butler's that guy, he's got to deliver.
I appreciate you bringing that up.
I sure did.
Yeah, I brought it up. Run through that door.
Yes.
Yes, that was the 2015 finals when Golden State wasn't yet Golden State, and they didn't have that 7-foot monster who won back-to-back finals MVPs. There was no Kevin Durant because they hadn't crawled all the way across country on July the 4th to beg him to come and save them.
They just had the MVP of Steph Curry.
He wasn't looking like it in the finals, and he was not finals MVP. Iggy was.
He was.
Iggy was.
But Steph Curry averaged 26, 5, and 5. And he's not the finals MVP because Iggy held a guy to 36, 13, and 9.
Okay.
Wow.
I have told you 100 times that was the height of LeBron James. Those were the 3 greatest games I've ever seen him play because you're right. He had lost Kevin Love before the playoffs, and he lost Kyrie in overtime of Game 1.
Yes.
And all of a sudden, he's having little Della Vadova going along for his ride. That's his like second best clutch player on the team.
Yeah.
And what do? They go up 2-1 with Game 4 in LeBron's house in Cleveland.
Right.
And I'm thinking that day, walking around Cleveland, Ohio, I'm thinking, LeBron, if he just keeps playing like he is right now, he's put this whole team on his very broad back. And if he gets game 4 in his house, they're going to be up 3-1. They're going to win this, and this is going to be LeBron's greatest achievement.
Yes.
And it would help cancel out that all-time collapse, that all-time superstar meltdown that was the 2011 finals, when in games 4, 5, and 6, the chosen one became the frozen one and just completely froze up. So what does he do in game 4? He doesn't show up. He was horrendous. What was he, like 8 of 22? He was terrible in that game. And then the next day on the other network, analyst after analyst is coming through saying, well, he ran out of gas.
Whoa.
Wait a second. Nobody spends more money on fitness than LeBron James. He ran out of gas?
But you just told me last year Kevin Durant ran out of gas. That's what you just told me.
Well, that was a solo act, man.
Hold on.
That was game 7 running out of gas.
Hold on.
Because even you acknowledged he'd given us 2 masterpieces already.
And we just heard Giannis said his body and his mind is exhausted. That's what Giannis said. Now, but when the analysts say that about LeBron James, that can't be. Now, we got 2...
In game 4, you hit the wall and ran out of gas?
The man playing 47 minutes.
Game 4?
The man played... Hold on.
In your house?
Hold on. It doesn't skip. Look, all that home court is fine. How did home court help Phoenix? It didn't help him at all, because at the end of the day, you still got to play. The man playing 47, 48 minutes. Remember game 1 went to overtime. Game 2, he played, 46, 47 minutes. Don't do that, Skip. Let's just keep it to Luka. You and I both know Luka is legit. He is legit. Yeah, Skip, he has flaws, but I just want you to tell me the player that didn't have any flaws.
All I know is right here, right now, the best player to me, the most valuable player remaining, is the guy I got on the team that I picked to win it all. And I'm sticking with my pick because, well, you lost both of your picks.
I lost both of my picks, yes.
Okay, so now it's Luka is the best player on the planet. It seems like we're going in that direction, right?
No, I'm not saying he's the best player on the planet. He's the best player remaining in these playoffs.
Okay. But Jimmy Butler doesn't get any credit. He gets very little attention. He's got a couple of commercials, but he's singing songs that nobody else would sing.
Skip, he's getting credit. But I don't think he's the best player in that series. I think Jayson Tatum is the better player.
That's what most people think. And by the way, it is a runaway train right now, even in the betting world, for the Boston Celtics. All of a sudden, that's been bet all the way down from 2.5 to 1.5. So all of a sudden, Boston is the favorite in that series. And I get it. I love it. I appreciate it.
Can I ask you a question? How is Boston the favorite if they're still getting 1.5?
What's that, in game 1?
Yes.
Well, they're, again, at home, they open as a 2.5-point betting favorite at home. But to win the series, it's Boston.
They're still,
okay?
But they're still the favorite.
That's all you need to know, is that the betting public is still going toward Boston.
Yes.
Right? You're going toward Boston.
I'm leaning toward, yes, I took Boston in 7.
You took Boston,
I took
right?
Boston in 7.
Okay.
6. I took Boston in 6.
And yet there's another player we have not dealt with yet that you think is also much better than Jimmy Butler. It's probably in your world blasphemy to even include Jimmy Butler in a conversation with Steph Curry, right?
No. I got Jimmy Butler in front of Steph.
Do you really?
I got Steph as the 4th best player in these playoffs.
I thought yesterday you had Steph as the 2nd best player. Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
No, Skip, I'm not talking about where they are in their career. I'm talking about playing right now. As I watch these ball games, I got Luka, Jayson Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry. That's what I got.
Okay. And yet, just to frame this for those who have failed to follow closely what's happening with Steph Curry, he is having the worst playoff run of his career so far.
Right.
If you look across the board, he's shooting only 36% from 3. As you know, he's a 45% career three-point shooter. He's the greatest shooter we've ever seen. He broke Ray Allen's all-time record. And even his free throw shooting has fallen all the way off to 82%. By his standards, that is horrendously bad.
He's been bad shooting the free throws. And it started with the Nuggets.
Okay. So all of a sudden, you're seeing the least productive postseason from Steph. And what I saw against Memphis was Steph was very fortunate that Ja didn't make one of 2 plays down the stretch. Steph made a really good defensive play on him the first time.
Right.
And then Clay made a great defensive play. And then Ja won by himself basically game 2. And then all of a sudden, Dillon Brooks has gone for both 3, most of 2, and then all of game 3. And that's Steph's primary defender.
Right.
And he couldn't really take that much advantage. And then we both agreed that by rights, Memphis should have won game 4. Right?
Yeah.
And then Golden State was lucky to survive game 5, and then game 6 happened, and here we go.
Golden State got blown out in game 5.
I'm sorry, that was the 55-point game.
Right.
One game.
Game 4,
right.
The one they barely.
But then in game 6, Steph went off at the end of the game, but it was actually Andrew Wiggins, who I demonstrated for you yesterday, was the one who saved the day, saved the night, saved the game by making shot after shot. He made 4 straight shots early that kept them barely in the lead. And finally, when they're up 3, Steph finally made his first 3. Then he scores 11 points front running down the stretch.
He front running now.
Oh, well, he was. He was front running because the game
The game wasn't over. Stop
yes,
that.
it was. It was virtually decided at that point because you could sit. Memphis couldn't buy a shot in the fourth quarter.
Let me ask you this, Skip. Who had the better team? The best team in basketball all year were the Phoenix Suns.
By far.
Luka Doncic went there and made mincemeat of them in a Game 7, and at one point in time they were down by 40 plus.
I think they made mincemeat of themselves.
So not they.
Well, I do. And I think you agreed with that yesterday.
No. You told me.
I've never seen a worse Game 7 performance by a home team as far as just not even showing up. You didn't even resemble your regular season self or your games 1, 2, and 5 self.
But what did you show? All I know is you showed the first 3 or 4 shots that Luka made, and you said this was the game. That wasn't
three shots.
It wasn't nothing that Phoenix could do about that. The guy shooting rainbows over a 7-footer. He dragging him, pulls him out past the 3-point line, and lets it go in the short porch of the corner.
It was uncharacteristic of Luka. And once he did that, it felt like the whole Phoenix team just threw up its hands and gave up.
Okay, say it was uncharacteristic that he was 6 of 11 from 3, but it was not uncharacteristic because we've seen him at Skip. There's a reason why the man has the second highest scoring average in NBA history in the postseason. You make it seem like all of a sudden he just had 7 of these games against Golden State. Phoenix. You remember what he did against what was all 7 games against your Clippers. That's Paul George, that's Kawhi. And there's like Pat Bev. At the time they had Pat Bev too. And he cooking everybody.
And he lost.
He did. Thank you. What I'm trying to say is that a great team will be the great player. Ask Michael about the great teams of the Celtics and the Pistons until he got comparable help. Ask LeBron until he got comparable help getting past the Celtics. One great player, yes, but you need a team. You need a team. Magic had outstanding teams in the 80s with the Lakers. Larry Bird had outstanding teams with
What Luka needs is shooters. He needs other people who can make 3-point shots. See Finney Smith. See Brunson.
Yes.
See
Kleber.
Bullock.
Yes.
Kleber. Just go down the list.
Yes.
See them all. They can all just go crazy hot from 3.
Skip, what did Magic need? Guys that could fill the lane because he was coming down on the break. So he needed a Jamal Wilkes. He needed a Michael Cooper. He needed a James Worthy. He needed a Byron Scott. So you make it seem like he's the only one that needed players to fit what he does. Everybody needs that.
Okay. I'm ready for the coronation.
Ain't no coronation. You gonna see it.
You've
You
warned
gonna
me
see it.
it's coming. So here we go.
Luka superstar.
Gentlemen, I
don't know
love
yet.
when you start the morning off so spicy, but I got to jump in because we're out of time here.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.